when we have these types of conversations about sustainability, we all know it's an abstract concept. So I think I wanted to get straight to it. And as it pertains to your specific business, things like running a restaurant, making sure your supply chain is in line. Can you just talk us through the main operational areas where this sort of very abstract concept becomes very tangible in how you do your business?
Mm, thank you, thank you. For us, the whole concept of sustainability, although it's still a bit abstract at this point, but we already see the sustainability as a very integral part of our business growth strategy. Correct. It's part of the growth. We grow with it.
The last 12 months, we've had a war, an ongoing war. Obviously, what's happening on the ground in Shanghai and across parts of China has presented its share of challenges. What challenges have you faced as far as your supply chain, and how do you think that's going to be more sustainable moving forward as far as lessons learned?
The biggest challenge for us at that time, for many companies, is the supply chain, because obviously it was very difficult. Fortunately, our 35 years hard work in-house logistic and supply chain system works wonder, and magical things happen because our logistics center, our truck, all these are tailor-made for Yum China, and they work amazing. And we have intelligent and digitized supply chain visibility within the company, so we know where are the stock, and then we can move them around between the store and between the brand. And also, not only we have some store that's still operating, we also are one of the very few companies that have our in-house delivery riders. So our delivery riders can deliver food to some customers and some employees. And when some of these delivery riders cannot serve, our headquarters staff, with the culture of helping each other, our headquarters staff actually step in, use their own car, and drive around to deliver food. The most senior person became part of the delivery team was the general manager of Pizza Hut. He was one of the delivery riders. It was challenging, but for our company, it became such a morale building process. And personally, and for the management team, we are so grateful that we have such amazing group of staff that we try our very, very best. And we talk about it in the last quarter earning release, and for 10% of the stores were opening during that time, they achieved 40-50% of the sales for the entire market in China, because the demand is so big. But our team worked very hard to serve our community. So yes, it was very tough, but we have a very positive team. We take every challenge as an opportunity to become better and serve our customer better.
Let me talk about scope 3, because for you to be able to then measure your entire carbon footprint, indirectly, everything else, let's put it that way. How many suppliers do you have? Just a rough ballpark figure before I ask the next question.
Few hundred suppliers, yes.
Okay, and how do you then make sure that you're talking to them? What conversations are you having so they then can abide by your own sort of sustainability objectives?
Very good question again. I resonate your question that the scope 3 is the most challenging one for everyone, and including for Yum China, because 2/3 of our greenhouse emission come from the purchased good, and that means from our suppliers. And when we embark on the journey of defining the roadmap and the inventory of how to achieve that greenhouse emission reduction, we immediately start the conversation with our suppliers, and we seek their constructive opinions, because we have to do it together. We cannot do it alone. We know it from day one. So we have the conversation, and we get their opinion, and then we put together a roadmap. So that's point one. And the challenge is very profound. The challenges are very profound. We know that. But once we start the conversation, we realize every single of supplier, they want to be part of it. They want to do it. And we are very grateful that we have a platform now within our system that we can continue that dialogue, and we'll continue to adjust the plan because the direction is there, the goal is there, but how to get there, we have to learn at the same time. You know, it's just reality. So that's point one. Point two is we set the greenhouse emission as one of the KPI for suppliers to work with us. So we want to achieve the target. We want our supplier to be committed to it, and it's one of the requirements. It's not a big secret that might work. And then number three is we're going to offer training sessions for ourselves and for our suppliers so that we can learn with each other and learn together. And then last but not least, we launched a pilot program. We already did it with poultry and packaging suppliers to develop a carbon footprint scorecard. Because while we are still exploring, it's always good to have this pilot, and we have the very proper learning process. And then once the pilot program works, then obviously we're going to expand this. So step by step, I think our supplier and ourselves, we have reasonable confidence that we can have a pretty good chance with the commitment that we already have, which is greenhouse emission, zero carbon greenhouse emission by 2050. Thank you.
Right. And it looks like that could be a good starting point. Just an update, I guess, on that when we have this conversation, hopefully again 12 months from now. As a final question, more to do really with what's happening with the world more than your company because of the war. I need to ask you because you're in the business. As far as the food supply issue of the world, that goes into a sustainability aspect too. Do you think the world has a food supply issue?
Well, I hope not. I mean, although right now the uncertainties in this world are just beyond imagination of many clever people. But we try our very best, at least in China market, to do what is right and what we can do. Therefore, in terms of sustainability, it's also part of our big focus to utilize our intelligent and digitized supply chain platform within our system that we can minimize food wastage. I do believe that there's a lot of wastage within the supply chain distribution system around the world that we can still improve so that we can feed more people. And we are going to do our part. But the technology of intelligent digitized supply chain must be in place. And therefore, it has been our focus for many years. And we are very happy that we can share to the rest of our investor community that we are there. We have the system in place right now.
Yeah,
within Yum China system. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you so much. And hopefully, by the way, not just feed people, feed people healthy food too. Joey, thank you so much. We'll speak again, of course, and hopefully get an update there. Joey Watts, CEO of Yum China.
Thank you, David. Thank you.